And we're live.
It's 7 o'clock. We'll call to order the November 6th meeting of the Upper Mackenzie Township Board of Supervisors. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Don't know every time how much people listen or care with what I say next, but I'm going to keep doing it because it makes me feel good. Before we get started, I want to make sure that we have a moment that we take a little grace and gratitude. We've been through another election cycle. Thank you for voting, for those of you who did. We have been through a number of times over the last month since we met where we've had opportunities to not take a deep breath, to yell and scream at each other, to not give ourselves the space that we need to make sure that we're in the right space of mind. So before we make meeting tonight, I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to sit, take a deep breath, remember those who came before us, remember those who help us along the day every day, and remember those who will come after us, and be thankful for where we are. Okay. So with that, we can get moving. We're already on section 2, additions or deletions to the agenda. If I'm right, I don't think we have any of those tonight, right? So we're up to the minutes and the financials. I'm going to make a motion to dispense with the reading of the meeting minutes from October 2nd, 2025, the general business meeting, the October 7th and October 14th budget meetings, and the October 21st special meeting. Adopt them as presented and authorize payment for the bills of the month of October in the amount of $8,253,988.81. Is there a second for that?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Jim. Questions or concerns about the minutes or the budget, or the financials? Seeing none, we can move to the vote. All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the reading and approve the budget, or approve the payment of the bills for the month of October, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Thank you. Excuse me. To section 4, presentations, the new officer presentation. Chief Stacy. Thank you.
Brian, good job. I was going to call you to come up anyway, so way to be proactive.
There you go, thank you.
Good evening. Tonight we're about to welcome another officer into our ranks within the Upper Mackenzie Township Police Department. Brian Coons is a 2010 graduate of Westfield High School in Virginia. He received his Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice at Radford University in June 2014 before completing his Act 120 certification. Brian then began working for the Fairfax County Police Department in Virginia. He completed 10 years with their department before moving to Pennsylvania. While at Fairfax County, he completed training to become a field training instructor and mentored new recruits. He also worked a short period of time for Cedar Crest College before being hired with our agency. Officer Coons took his oath of office in front of Magisterial District Judge Michael J. Faulkner on September 8th, 2025, where he swore to support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the laws of Pennsylvania, and Upper Mackenzie Township, and that he will discharge his duties of office with fidelity. I'd like to welcome Officer Coons' family, his wife Jessa, and his son Rowan up to. It is a tradition that the officer's family pins his new badge onto his uniform. From what I understand, it's going to be Rowan with the assistance of Mom.
I'll try it.
All right.
Ready?
The officer's family is going to play a very important role. Just all of the stressors out there every day, day in, day out, that the officer deals with. It's very important to have a very strong support system at home. So they play a very integral role in the officers' lives and being part of the family. Good job.
So
So with that, I would like to be the first to publicly introduce our newest officer, Officer Brian Coons, to the Upper Country Township Police Department. And thank you. Brian, you've been on the road for a few weeks now. I'm sure you're starting relationships, building relationships. You'll come across many great people in the community, and you'll see you have a strong support system here with the board, the manager, and the rest of the teams in the township, from the fire services, public works, parks and rec, bids are national night out. You can see the support system here. It's something to be very proud of. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we should go down.
Yeah, we just progress.
Yep. Let's get some pictures.
Well, can't say no unless you ask.
We've only done it like 5 times.
Nice paper.
Congratulations.
I don't know, I think that was in the back. Well, it was in the back.
Let's make sure you see chairman's tie and sneaker coordination.
Not your brother.
You got it? Okay.
Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah, it makes me feel good.
Thought you were gonna go down the steps with your chair. I wasn't that good.
Cool ride.
I thought you might have go under here.
Congratulations, Officer Hunt. Welcome aboard.
Good job, buddy.
We are moving to second part of the presentations, which is the 2026 proposed budget presentation. Michelle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Site review, we had a 2026 presentation. So a little highlights, tax and fees for 2026, real estate tax will remain the same at 0.61 mils. Or no increase. Original sewer fees will remain the same at $3.56 annually. Refuse and recycling fee will remain the same at $3.75 annually. And the senior refuse rate will remain at $3.55 for the change.
It's a little hard to hear you. Pull it a little closer, thanks.
The village comparison, it compares to the school district and the county of Lehigh, we're at 3%. Just a nice example of assessed value at $250,000, what that would equal, $60 a year.
Right, pause for 1 second, Michelle. I took it on myself to pull up the 2025 Lehigh County millage rates, just to point out that when you combine the municipality, the county, and the school taxes, Upper Country has the lowest combined tax rate for real estate taxes in Lehigh County of any township. That includes some of the townships that may beat us in township tax or the borough tax, but are far behind in everything. So the fact that we have no gross increase and the residents of the township have the lowest tax rate, real estate tax in any county, any municipality in Lehigh County, I think is important to point out. Just making sure everybody knows that. Lowest tax rate in Lehigh County is, sorry.
Thank you for pointing that out. And we're getting the biggest community center too.
We're lifting up theirs.
The 26 budget snapshot, you can see the estimated revenues entire year would be 77 million, and the estimated expenditures at 70 million. So we're far exceeding our revenues and expenses. The general revenue for the year would be $25,140,750. Couple highlights there. The real estate taxes are the biggest drivers of revenue. the general government, Fund 1, the 15.25 of the general fund budget, and 11.2% of the total budget. is the general fund. Public Works is 18.7% of the general fund budget, being 11.9% of the total budget. Other department highlights would be the police, operating expense at 8 million, community development 2.7, and recreation a little less than 9. The percentage of funds, police at 31.4%, total percent budget 19.6, and community development 10.4, the fund budget, and 6.5 of the total budget. Recreation's small 3.1 or 3.4% on budget, and the total budget 2.2. This total expenditures for 01 is like 24 million. New for the 2026 year, we're pulling out the fire revenue expenses and revenue. You'll see the transfer is coming from the general fund of 1.8 million. Which the general fund is able to cover. The expenditures for fire, but operating expenses at 1.3. For the refuse and recycling revenue, residential fees is 2.8. You can see like other revenue expenses for the Fund 5. For the expenditures, contracted sewer recycling waste is 2.7 million. Sewer revenue, additional commercial usage is 8.9 million. Usage is 2.8. Just a couple highlights there for you to review. Expenses, operating expenses, 1.1 million. LCD charges are the most expenses. Also, for the 2026 year is our revenue for the Community Lifestyle Center. Look at least there. Some of our revenue will be coming from membership and subscriptions, and donations and sponsorships. For the expenditures, we're estimating operating expenditures to be around a little over $1 million. With this year's budget, we are able to cover our debt services for the new police and fire stations. We will finish the completion of our Livestock Community Center, and we will maintain our vehicle equipment through capital plan. Some of the next steps, proposed budget for tonight's supervisor meeting, advertise for the next 20 Ds, and then we'll be seeking your approval of December 4th meeting.
Next, couple of questions. Just to be clear, we're not proposing any tax raises or tax increases. We're not proposing or requesting any fee increases for sewer
There's no fee.
or garbage.
Correct.
Okay. And we're not deferring or otherwise reducing any of the services that we offer to our township residents, even without those any raises or increases.
No, we're actually expanding.
We're actually expanding what we do. And even expanding what we do, we are building it as a moderately conservative surplus budget.
It's
And that includes, for example,
close to $1 million.
close to $1 million of surplus.
Yes.
And that includes, for example, within the staffing program for the fire, we're actually increasing the budget for that up to $400,000 for the staffing reimbursements for 2026. Okay. Are there other pieces within the budget that we have a dramatic increase that should be highlighted, or is it really just sort of a center cut budget that we're doing? And as a center cut budget, we anticipate some good and some bad. but we're not pushing ourselves in the spot where we're destined to fail.
Just to clarify though, the bond payment is something new. That's a pretty significant portion of the budget though.
And we're able to cover that.
You're right, it is part of it, it is different. Yeah.
So this year it's at for 26, it'll be at 1.5 million.
Right.
After that, it does go to 1.8. But we ran the 26 budget with the 1.8 to see what it looks like, and we're still good.
And I know we're good, but I wanted to just highlight that that is included in the budget. It is different, it is new, but we're still gonna have a certain amount of surplus.
Correct.
Okay.
I think staff did a very good job looking at their needs, balancing their wants, and then especially fire, police, public works, recreation. Some of Ryan's programs got expanded. They're very popular, and we want to keep giving back to the residents as much as we can.
And we are anticipating some additional revenue this year from the community center when it does get open and operational.
Right, but we're keeping that revenue within the community center.
Right.
To offset the expenses.
And that was prorated, right? So that wasn't, we used the, when did you base that on starting up? It did something because I was,
I'm speaking prematurely.
okay, no, fair enough. But I'm not gonna hold you to it.
No, but we did rate, we're not gonna hire someone in the community center January 2nd,
Sure.
but we're not gonna wait till opening day in the summer. So we prorated expenses anywhere from of the full year to 3 months, to 9 months, to 6 months. Brian looked at it pretty hard and put realistic numbers.
I appreciate that, and that was my ask, and I appreciate you moving forward with that. Thank you.
Want me to make a motion or?
Sure.
I make a motion to accept the 2026 proposed budget and authorize the advertisement for public display.
I'll second that, thank you. Did you have any questions or concerns? I know we sort of went out of space.
No, I'm good.
Okay, anyone from the public here tonight have any questions or concerns about the budget that's been proposed? The presentation this evening, understanding that the next step is it's going to be advertised, it'll be available for your review, and then we'll vote on it as final budget in December. Any questions or concerns? Lovely. Seeing none, we can move to the vote. Thank you, Premier. All those in favor of the motion to accept the 2026 proposed budget and authorize the advertising for public display, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Better. Proclamation, presentation C, Small Business Saturday, Jazz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last year, we had a proclamation for Small Business Saturday, and we are going to do that again this year, which falls on November 28th, 2025. And the proclamation reads as follows. Small Business Saturday, November 28th, 2025. Whereas the Upper Macungie Township Board of Supervisors celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. And whereas, according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 34.7 million small businesses in the United States. Small businesses represent 99.7% of firms with paid employees. Small businesses are also responsible for 61.1% of new net jobs created since 1995. And small business employees, 45.9% of the employees in the private sector of the United States. And whereas 68 cents of every dollar spent at a small business in the United States stays in the local community, and every dollar spent at small businesses creates an additional 48 cents in local business activity as a result of employees and local businesses purchasing local goods and services. And whereas 59% of U.S. consumers aware of Small Business Saturday shopped or ate independently at an independently owned retailer or restaurant on Small Business Saturday. And whereas Upper Macungie Township supports the local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities. And whereas advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, the Upper Macungie Township Board of Supervisors of Brightingsville, Pennsylvania, do hereby proclaim November 28th, 2025 as Small Business Saturday, and urge the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small business and merchants on Small Business Saturday, celebrating its 16th year in 2025 and shop small throughout the year. The proclamation.
Do we make a motion of the proclamation, or we just?
No.
Do we hereby proclaim?
Yeah.
I think she
It's therefore proclaimed,
has read it into the record.
and forever shall be. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let's make sure on the Saturday after, we spend all our money on the Friday after Thanksgiving, we come spend some more money there. There are no discussions and updates, there are no ordinances this evening, we're up to number 7, resolutions. Resolution A, 2539, document 2405, 6517 Centronia Road, ratification of the planning commission approval. Bob?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The board recalls back in the spring of this year, we bought property at 6517 Citronia Road, which was residential property surrounded by Green Grove Park. After we acquired the property, we had HRG, I called it deed consolidation. The official term is a lot line adjustment. We brought that before the planning commission to basically eliminate that lot and incorporate it into the park. Since it was a township parcel, the planning commission was the approving body, which they have done. But what we do is the board has come back and just ratified thereby acknowledging their decision. And that's what we do tonight.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-39 for docket number 2405, 6517 Citronia Road, ratifying the approval of Upper McCudgee Township Planning Commission.
I'll second that. Thank you. Questions or concerns, Sonny?
Oh, no.
I'm good.
Anyone from the audience have any questions or concerns regarding making Green Park bigger? And then we can move to the vote. All those in favor of the motion to adopt resolution 2025-39, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Bob. We're up to motions. Section 8 of the agenda. Coming right back at you, Bob, as we do motion A, appointing a tax committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This has been a bit of a housekeeping measure. We had some of our former delegates that no longer work here, so we're just restructuring who's going to represent us on the Lehigh Tax Committee. Basically putting myself as the delegate, Michelle and Wayne, who's sitting over there, will be 2 of the alternates.
Okay, I'll make that motion to appoint the following personnel as delegates to the Lehigh Tax Committee. Robert Ibach, delegate, Michelle Souls, alternate delegate number 1, and Wayne Nichols, alternate delegate number 2.
I'll second that. And Wayne, this is probably the best birthday present you're gonna get of all time, and being the alternate number 2 to the tax committee, so happy birthday.
I agree, thank you.
Any other concerns or questions, Sonny, about the tax committee?
No, not really.
Now he's got his name in the, it's gonna be one motion.
I guess I should reframe it. Any other questions or concerns about the board's
No,
birthday
no,
present
I
to
just-
Wayne?
It's just honoring the birthday person. That's all.
Very good. I have none. Anyone have any questions about Wayne's birthday or the tax committee?
No, but
Yeah.
26.
and hold.
Seeing that we can move to vote, all those in favor of the motion to appoint Bob Ibach, Michelle Souls, and Wayne Nicholas, the birthday boy, as delegates and alternate delegates to the tax committee, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Happy birthday, Wayne. Motion B, appointing Andy Phillips to the Upper McCudgee Township Community Fund Board of Directors. Bob, once again.
Yep, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Andy is being proposed to fill the position that was held by Sean Gill, who was actually on the community fund as a township resident representative. Came across Andy through our insurance reviews. He's in the audience, that's what I'm looking at. He, I think would really be a good fit for the board. He is engaged in the community. He has a history of sports, not just youth sports. He played it himself and coached.
Very impressive write-up.
Appreciate it, thank you. And the community fund did recommend him for the position at their October meeting. It just requires board ratification of their selection.
I'll make a motion to appoint Andy Phillips to the UNT Community Fund Board of Directors.
I'll second that. Andy, why don't you come up and say hello and introduce yourself a little bit?
So you guys are everyone.
Yes.
You're streaming on YouTube too, by the way.
Okay. Well, I'm Andy Phillips. Thank you, by the way. Yeah, so I've born and raised in Lansing, Michigan, but I call Upper Country Township home now for the last 6 years. Been with the Urconic agency for the last 7 years. And as Bob alluded to, I have a big background in community, big background in sports. Got as high as the NFL briefly, Green Bay Packers, coach my son's 4 to 7-year-old flag football team now, which pray for me on that one. But no, it's a great, right over there at Grange Park, so I see every little movement of that community center every Tuesday and Thursday until the season just ended. But this community's been home to me, it's been home to my family, and honored to be approved for the board and excited to keep working with you guys on everything here for the future.
Welcome. Welcome to the board. Anyone, Sonny or Jen, questions or Andy or questions about the motion?
No, sir.
I'm trying to think of something, what do you just say? Can't.
Well, he's coaching a flag football team that's probably better than the Packers. Is that what you know?
Apparently that's so, yeah.
We'll see you next Monday.
Yeah.
From Kentucky, I'm not an Eagles fan. So
Okay.
I said that out loud.
That's it, that's the end of your career.
I've got 4 more years. Anyone from the community have any questions about this motion or want to ask Andy any questions about the NFL or flag football or your comic agency?
If there were insurance.
Yeah, that's the fun one. Right?
A wide range. All right, seeing none, we can move to vote. All those in favor of the motion to appoint Andy Phillips to the Upper McCutcheon Township Community Fund Board of Directors, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Welcome aboard, Andy. Thank you for your, thank you for volunteering. Thank you for being part of the community. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
We're to motion C, authorizing the township manager to update the Station 8 rental agreement. Bob again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As the board is aware, the township fire inspectors are now working out of Station 8. That gives them access to fire equipment that doesn't need to be parked outside up here at the municipal building during the winter. Speaking with Jeff Grimm, we just thought it would be a good idea to update the lease agreement. I'm kind of formatting the motion here to, as you see, it's as agreed by all parties, because we're still passing the draft back and forth. I don't want to wait till December until we have it done. Andrew developed it. I took a look at it, sent it to Jeff Grimm for the proposal board to take a look at. So we're hoping just between basically staff, we can get this done as soon as possible, because the guys are at the station.
I'll make a motion authorizing the township manager to sign a lease agreement with Fogelsville Fire Company Station 8, establishing the terms of use as agreed by all parties for McCutcheon Township Bureau of Fire office space. Anyone want to second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Questions or concerns, Sonny?
No, I don't think so. It's not gonna, yeah, that's fine, I'm good.
I'm good.
We're having a fairly cordial back and forth. This isn't, you anticipate that the terms are going to get hammered out pretty quickly here?
Yeah, they're basically the same as the Station 57 lease with Station 8 and our lease with Station 56. And it's all what Jeff and I talked about verbally.
And you have high confidence that there'll be something for you to sign in the next, before we meet and on December 4th?
I hope to.
Okay. Any questions or concerns from audience members regarding the lease at Station 8? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of authorizing the township manager to sign a lease with Fogelsville Fire Company Station 8, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
But don't go anywhere.
No, it's still me.
We're up to motion D, authorizing the township manager to enter an agreement with Amazon for peak access.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If the chief or Andrew wants to jump in, they can. But Mike was approached by the Amazon warehouse just down the road here to use some traffic control in the cul-de-sac. I believe that's Boulder Drive. With the peak holiday season coming up, they'll be bringing in more temp employees, along with a couple more truck traffics for delivery. They want to be able to manage that traffic coming in and out of there. Since they'll be using a private flagger force, Andrew felt it was best that we have an indemnification agreement with Amazon. And the chief handed me the agreement that Andrew developed, and it is already signed by Amazon. So meets their satisfaction, it meets our satisfaction. We're just looking for the board approval.
So this is just an agreement that indemnifies us because they're using a third party
On our streets.
on our streets, okay?
On this,
Just one clarification, Jim's probably maybe the only one who remembers it, but Jim, this is not the gate.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah.
This is the gate.
Damn it, the bypass, close to the bypass, yeah. I make a motion to authorize the township manager to execute an indemnification agreement with Amazon for the use of traffic control in the cul-de-sac Boulder Drive for the 2025 holiday season, conditioned upon the agreement meeting the satisfaction of the township solicitor and staff.
I'll second that. I just asked Andrew, you're satisfied, obviously, since you drafted the agreement, you're satisfied that it covers us, should there anything happen with the secondary flagger force, that we're gonna be okay?
Yes, I've used as a model the ordinance, or the agreement we had in place for when they would open up the gate. And then there was, years before that, there was a Tough Mudder event that Flagger Force utilized and just protects us from them directing traffic on township roads. So I'm satisfied with the indemnification and that the township is in fact protected.
Mike, you're satisfied from the police perspective?
I am. And just to clarify, many years ago when Amazon first opened, they assured me it's not going to be to the level of employment that it once was. They're expecting possibly up to 200 extra employees for the holiday season. And this was more so to assist with directing employees which lot to go to and to get trucks to the loading docks.
Anyone from the audience?
How, can you tell me roughly what's the period of time where we're gonna be doing this? Is it, you said peak times? What dates and what time?
It should be in the agreement, the dates.
Yeah, and I think it was till the end, like toward the end of the holiday season. I believe it says January 1st.
January 1st, so when does it start? Like just Thanksgiving or
Yeah, it'll start this month. In fact,
this month, okay.
they wanted to start it yesterday.
Okay, so I'll put it on there, okay, gotcha.
Anything else, Mike?
And is it just during the time that the employees are coming in and out, or is it gonna be the whole,
No, it would be the day shift hours would be, I believe it was 4:45 in the morning till 8:45, and then 4:45 to 8:45 at night.
okay, so just, all right, that's all, thank you.
Anyone, Jim, anything? Anyone from the audience have any questions about this? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to authorize the township manager to execute an indemnification agreement with Amazon for traffic control at Boulder Drive, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Bob, that passes.
Yeah.
We are up to motion E, authorizing the township manager to enter an agreement with No Nonsense Neutering to provide neutering vaccination services for free roaming cats in the township. Chief?
Yes, this would be to enter into an agreement with No Nonsense Neutering for the neutering services, trap and release for 2026. We currently have this agreement in place now. It'll be just another year of it. We typically don't get too many. I think this year so far we have 18. And I recommend the township continue the services with No Nonsense Neutering.
I'll make a motion authorizing the township manager to enter an agreement with No Nonsense Neutering to provide neutering vaccination services for free roaming cats in the township. Second?
I'll second.
Thanks, son. Just to be clear, Mike, we're talking, the township's paying $40 per cat.
Yeah, and actually I just misspoke. We have about 18 for the next motion. We have 2 for the metering services.
So 2 whole cats for
Correct.
2025
So far.
so far. There's time yet to expand that out to more. So this is really not a large budget item. It's just making sure we have a provision in case something is needed.
Correct.
Any other questions, Sonny or Jim?
No.
Questions from the audience about our neutering cat policy? I think there would be. Seeing none, we call question and move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion authorizing the township manager to enter an agreement with no nonsense neutering, signify by saying aye. Aye. That passes. Thank you, Chief. I'm going to stay with you, because motion F is motion authorizing the township manager to enter agreement with the Sanctuary Hospital as the agency that provides stray services for stray cats.
Correct. This also, we're in agreement with them currently. This would be for the following year, next year. And we currently have about 18 cats here so far. And the sanctuary provides services for stray cats that are within the township.
All right, I'll make the motion authorizing the township manager to enter into an agreement with the Sanctuary Hospital as the agency that provides services for stray cats.
I'll second that. Thanks, Sonny. Chief, this is, you said 18 cats this year?
Correct.
And that's, we pay $175 per cat.
I believe it's 150.
What kind of last year?
It's on,
Gone up.
this year will be 150, next year will be 175.
So inflation is for stray cats as well.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Any questions or concerns on Jim?
No.
Anyone from the audience about the maintenance of stray cats at the Sanctuary Hospital? Anybody want to take over that job? We'll pay you $150 to do it if you want to take it in your house. Seeing now, we can move to vote. All those in favor of the motion authorizing the township manager to enter an agreement with the Sanctuary Hospital for stray cats, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. If we roll merrily along. We're at motion G, approving the use of funds to support Upper Macungie Township Fire Rescue Station 57 staffing program. The other chief.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm back again to ask the board to approve staff to move funds over to Station 57 in the amount of $30,000 to support the staffing program. And that should get us through to the end of the year.
Make a motion to approve the use of recruitment and retention funds to support Upper Macungie Township Fire and Rescue Station 57 staffing program in the amount of $30,000.
I'll second that.
Questions or concerns, sir?
So this is in addition to what we've already provided, right? So didn't we do this before? Yeah.
Yes, we've
so-
done it a
so-
few times already.
Okay, all right. And so what's the total? Do you remember what the total is now? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
The total that we provided for staffing,
yeah,
I'm not sure.
okay, good.
I did provide as township manager the latest financial report from Station 57, just so I could
Okay.
provide that.
I guess the good news is,
That's what I laid there for. Oh, there it is.
That really doesn't need to.
okay. I guess the good news is that we're expanding and we need more funds.
Yes,
But we're all within the township funds.
And we're all within the township funds.
So while we have an opportunity to do so, can we talk through a little bit about the successes of the staffing program to date?
Sure.
Talk to us a little bit about, if you can, response times that have been improved, assuming they've been improved, the consistency of the staffing that we have, and whether this program, in your opinion, is something that should be continued, and why and where this way.
yeah, absolutely. I would feel like the program needs to continue. The response times have been greatly reduced. They've proven themselves multiple times on some incidents we've had. One in particularly in Jim's neighborhood, within the last week and a half, I'm going to say, where Chief Rader was in charge of that incident, and the fire was in a garage and was under control within 8 minutes.
And in your estimation, if we did not have a staffing program, it would not have been under control in 8 minutes?
That is correct.
Okay.
They saved the house.
Our volunteers do a great job, but we have to remember they're responding from their home. Granted, it was right around, that in particular case was right around the corner from Station 56, and they did have a very good response time, but it was definitely the staffing crew that was able to knock the bulk of that fire down in a short amount of time.
And so the staffing program goal is to have fire staff out the door and from call, how quickly?
So from the time the pager goes off,
Yes, sir.
during the day, daylight hours, 1 minute. During nighttime hours, 2 minutes.
So we have, with the staffing program that we're funding and the staffing program that's been going on, we've generally gotten our response times down to during the daytime hours. We're responding to a call within a minute, including right now, it appears. We might have some of our audience have to go. Example of the response time. But our response times have gotten faster. We're doing a better job. We're not scratching as much. We're having, the fire service is improving.
The fire service, in my opinion, is improving, and we're improving a service to our community.
And how many members of the staffing program do we have now?
We're at, today, 48.
And we have 2 that are being approved, hopefully in the next week.
Yes.
2 additional to bring us to a full 50.
That's 48 total with those.
With those 2, yeah, okay. I don't know anything else.
No, I think you touched on this, all the spots I was trying to head for, so.
Sorry about that.
That's okay, it's good. As long as it was done, that's fine.
Anyone from the audience have a question to be about the staffing program or about the motion, which is to allocate additional $30,000? Seeing none, we can move to vote. All those in favor of the motion to approve the use of recruitment and retention funds to provide Station 57 staffing program an additional $30,000, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, and thank you, Brad, and thank you, everyone involved in Station 57 with staffing, our fire service, everyone is doing it's great what we're getting done, and we appreciate it. And that gloriously ends the full formal agenda. We're up to the board and staff reports. As usual, the monthly staff reports are available at the back of the room and posted to the township site. Are there any department managers with anything specific? We'll just work around the room. Michelle?
No.
Pete?
No, sir.
Chief?
Just a couple things. I'd like to recognize Officer Nick Morris, who was appointed to our community service officer position just a few months ago. Just last week, he completed his DARE officer training, so that brings us up to our 3rd DARE officer, so he'll be able to fill in as needed if there's any reason to do so that program can continue effortlessly within the schools. Also, you'll start to notice some of us being a little unshaven. We might look a little unkept here for the first couple weeks. Takes me a little bit to get my feet under me, growing a beard. But maybe a month or so. But we are participating again in No Shave November, and this year we're going to be donating to the Humane Society.
Hey, Chief.
So, thank you.
Rob?
I'll just note that the township building will be closed for Veterans Day next Tuesday, the 11th, and we will also be closed for Thanksgiving and the day after. Short month in November.
Lovely. Jasmine?
I do have a couple things. First and foremost, we had a couple of executive sessions held since our last meeting. The first one was on October 7th. The topic discussed at 7:15. Topic discussed was personnel, followed by October 14th, 7 p.m. Topic discussed was legal matters, as well as October 21st, 5:10 p.m. legal matters, and tonight before the meeting, November 6th, 5:30 p.m. personnel was discussed. I did want to mention that we continue to maintain all of our residents engaged. We're still standing at about an 85% engagement rate, which means that you're going in, you're getting the emails, you're clicking on the emails, you're actively participating. So we do appreciate that because we do work hard to make sure that everybody is getting all of the information that we can as quickly as possible. Remembering that we're also on Facebook and we do have our UMT Connect app that if you have any issues, you can submit code enforcement. You can reach the department where it will go ahead and process through and reach the correct department once you get into that app. If you have any questions about how to access it or having any troubles, please feel free to either send me an email or give me a call here at the township. Also, I did want to mention on October 31st, the submissions for the Kathy Rader Good Citizenship Award did close out, and we received a total of 13 responses. We have a committee that will be discussing those submissions and hope to provide the selection in December, I believe, right, Ryan? Okay, in December. So I want to thank everybody that took the time to engage in this, one of our new programs that we have here for the township.
Thank you, Jen. Meredith?
Just one update. We have the zoning ordinance amendment, and the board had authorized the advertisement of that amendment last month, and we have the public hearing scheduled for December 4th. The amendment is available on our website. It relates to data centers and the regulations that we're going to incorporate into the zoning ordinance for that use. I don't know if Andrew has anything else to add to that.
Not to add to that, no.
Andrew?
Just one thing, Mr. Chairman, you noted earlier in the meeting that the township has expanded Grange Road Park. For the audience's benefit, they further expanded Grange Road Park through the quick negotiations and settlement of a property at 7036 Rupsville Road. So that pretty much completes the entirety of that area as township-owned property.
Thank you.
Sure.
Ryan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Green Let Go projects for Tillman Street and Hamilton Boulevard are continuing to proceed. Nothing has changed. We anticipate bidding those out next summer. And the BZAP, we hope to assist the township with proceeding with some of the improvements in 2026. And then lastly, the property we discussed earlier, 6517 Citronia Road. We have been proceeding with earth moving permits through the Conservation District. We anticipate getting approvals in the next 4 to 6 weeks for that. Scott did ask us to stake out that property for the ENS controls for when the township crews will be doing the earth moving, and we're going to be doing that in the near future as well.
Thank you. Mr. Birthday Boy? Wayne, anything?
This will be a hard one to top, but nothing further.
Well done. You might say just as many words as the man next to you, Scott.
He actually said more words than the main next.
He did, stunning. A man of few words, Ryan.
Just a couple updates from last month in recreation and parks. We held a Kirby Crawler and Candy Hunt Wildlands collaboration program over at Braggsville Park on October 3rd. We maxed out at 37 participants with a wait list of over 60. It was the first time doing a combined candy hunt with their activity. Our next Wildlands program is the Hootie Hoot Hike, scheduled for the 14th of November at Lone Lake Park. It's already full with 61 participants. We're averaging 50 to 60 this year compared to about 20 to 25 last year. Concerts in the park, we had Makeup one on October 4th and then another Rocktoberfest on October 25th, averaging between 75 and 150. We anticipate that program growing with some ideas of combining them with other events. Rocktoberfest on October 5th, with over 500 people at Grange Park. Our Zumba fall session, we are offering 2 offerings this year instead of 1, with about 50 participants. Our yoga fall sessions over 20. And we also have open adult volleyball and basketball over at Veterans Elementary School. One basketball is on Mondays from 7 to 9 p.m. Volleyball is Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. Both have mentioned they need more courts, which we will have coming this year. And then lastly, we held our trunk or treat event on October 17th with a new location over at Grange Road Park. According to the license plate reader data and our estimates, we were just under 5,000 individuals for this event. We were trying to beat out National Night Out. We got both events of roughly around 5,000 participants. So our public works staff, Jim, JT, Scott, everyone involved, did a fantastic job trying to recreate the feel of Lone Lake Park in an area of Grange. There were added interactive elements such as a movie in the park and an interactive pirate ship show, inflatables, space painting, hair braiding, and then also food trucks and other interactive elements. So it was very well received. Yes, some of the lines were long, but we did not hear many complaints, other than impatient kids at times. But overall, everyone seemed to have a fantastic time that was there. We also hit that number of people with both South Whitehall and North Whitehall also having trunk or treats on the same night. So I think it's a testament that we have a lot of our residents come, but we're also a destination for them to come to visit. We take the month of November off and we go back at it for Kids New Year's Eve on December 31st from 10:30 to 12 and 3.
I happened to be at the last concert in the park. It was nice. It was not that cold. I got to 2 concerts this year, I'm pretty proud of. Doug, thanks for advocating for more free concerts. The events are great. It's really a nice thing to see people in the community come together, even if it's 100 people on a relatively chilly night, just to listen to some music and have a good place to talk. So keep up the good work. I think you're doing a great job. Sonny.
Yeah, no, just a question. I'm not gonna let Scotty get away without saying anything. But okay, since it's the season, can you give a little bit of the audience, kind of like dates on the leaf pickup? I noticed you've already been through my neighborhood a couple of times. When is it stop? You already started. How long do you guys do that?
It started on the 15th of October. We run until December 1st.
December 1st. Okay, all right. And so then people have until December 1st to get all their leaves out.
There is no schedule, so just make sure your leaves are out inside the road.
Okay.
So we try to get around after at least once a week.
All right. Thank you for that information.
Anything else?
That was it.
Good.
Okay. I'd like to wish my brother a happy birthday. I'm quite sure he is not watching this. But he now knows that he shares a birthday with Wayne, which makes it
If he
probably
does,
10 times better.
if he's watching, he's excited as you are.
He's probably, yeah, something. Anyone from the community have anything they want to say tonight? Public comment? Come on up.
My name is Craig Kemmer. I live at 1718 Becker Street. First of all, with the fire department, you guys did a fantastic job. We had a fire up Hickory Lane. A pole started on fire, a tree fell into it, knocked them both loose. Luckily, my wife and I were home, looked out the front window and saw it sparking like crazy. Within 10 minutes time on the job, they were right there. I'm going good. And the community center looks great, really simple. Anyway, in that same neighborhood where the fire was, there's that whole large area at the top of the hill, up all the way to the top of Hickory Lane, and it meets up with Becker. That whole entire farm area that Jambo used to, up until today, has farmed. It went up for sale, and it's gone. And the property right across the street from our house had it was called a 515P preserved land indication. In other words, it had to be stayed that way. And if anything changed, that they changed preserving that land, it would go to if they stopped the 515, it would be sold and somebody else took it over, which is exactly what happened now. They're supposed to block that piece of land. And if they don't preserve it by using it for some sort of forestry or agriculture, it loses its tax savings advantage. From what I understand now, that since it came up for sale and is pending right now, they changed it on the market from 515P to a 319P. And I was wondering if anybody here knows what that means for that piece of land. As far as, can they house it? There's no water except a well on the property. There is no sewage naturally. But when I talked 6 months ago to the realtor, it was, I'm trying to think who it was. Something Valley Real Estate, Iron Valley. I just noticed that he came onto the property with his truck, parked right where the farmer had planted seeds. And I just walked over to him and said, I don't know if you know it, but you just parked your truck on top of the new planting. And he said to me, well, I'm selling this property. And I'm thinking, oh, great. That beautiful farmland up there is probably some of the best in the Lehigh Valley to look at. Jandal farms it every year for 35 years. Apparently now it's in a pending situation, and they've applied and have a change from a 515 reserve to a 315 reserve. Does anybody know what happens and what what they're allowed to do on that land. Because from what I understand, if it is, in fact, abolished the preserved land indicator, that means they have to pay 6 years back taxes to the state, I guess, and plus 6% interest, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if anybody knows anything about this particular property, what can be done to it, what's going to be done to it. I mean, the seller, I'm sure, has the right to sell it, but somebody has to come across with this preserved land tax deferral.
Did you say it went from a 515 to a 319?
319.
All I know, 319 for land preservation is Act 319 clean and green, which is similar to some of the land preservation issues, farmland preservation. It has some building restrictions on it. I don't know if that's what the designation is, but it's similar. There's tax benefits for the assessment purpose. It reduces your assessed value. Same thing if you sell it within if you sell it, you have to pay back, you get charged back on the taxes as well as assessed value reduction when you sell the property. I don't know what that is. I don't know. We don't necessarily keep tax on all the private land sales.
I didn't know. I thought this would be the best place to try to start finding some. I did call.
Yeah, Act 515 is pretty much the same as 319. 319 superseded Act 515, and as the chairman said, it is pretty much a clean and green act. It's a covenant on the land, I believe with the county, that they have to farm it, whether it's for agricultural purposes, it could be forestry, it can be crops, but it has to produce a certain amount of revenue on an annual basis. If that covenant is, it's a 10-year covenant, I believe. If that covenant is breached, they have to pay the rollback taxes because it's not taxed as, industrial land or residential land. It's taxed under that. So they get a tax break, but they have to keep it preserved and producing agricultural products for that 10-year covenant. That's, may not be exact, but that's
Okay.
broad
I
understanding.
have no idea, because that kind of contradicts what I was told by the realtor when he told me just parked on the farm's land after New City. And he told me, he said, this is going to be made into what he called an estate sale home region. And they'll put 6 or 7 homes up on that giant sized 60-some acre land and turned into maybe 10 acres per home across that whole wide area off of Becker Street, the side of Hickory Lane. And I don't know how they can do that without paying, who can pay those taxes back to begin with? It's gotta be huge, and if that's the case, there's no sewerage up there. Does that mean the township has to get it up there?
That means they can do septic on site. They can do
On-site.
they can do well. They can do on-site septic. And unfortunately, there's certain situations where we can't control private sales. There's certain things that landowners can do to forever preserve farms. They have to be financially motivated to do that, and if they don't, we try to adjust the zoning and make sure that we protect the areas as best we can, but that's the best we can.
So I didn't want to interrupt all of you guys, but I thought I saw there was some plan that was reviewed for 4 lots of 13 acres in that area. Is that what I'm thinking?
Yeah, that would
Do you
be-
mean that's
13
upcoming?
acres was sold.
Yeah, I read it in my minutes. There was some in the briefing. There was 4 lots for 13
Yep.
acres each.
We have a sketch plan submission for a subdivision, and it's coming up on the November 19th Planning Commission meeting, but it's 2010 Hickory Lane. I don't think it's the same property.
Okay, that's that's it right here. 2010 Hickory Lane, 60-acre parcel into 3 lots, 11.3 acres each, and lot 4 would be 37.6. And this is within the rural free zoning district RU3. But it's called it's at 2010 Hickory Lane.
2010, that's it, yes.
That's what you're talking about. So that's what it is. It's docket number 2407. I mean, if you want to say abreast of it, that's what I would look for. But yeah, I think it looks like there is something underfoot.
So each they'll divide it into a certain amount of properties with big homes on it.
4 lots, 3 of them are 11.4 acres, and the 4th lot is 37.6 acres. Okay, so there are 4 lots there. That is what I think you're talking about. I remember reading about it. I remember reading this yesterday.
Yeah, that's the correct one.
Okay, so that's what that is.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, so it seems like they're gonna have a couple homes up there, but not an entire community of.
It's for, yeah, but it's still in process and nothing's been approved, so
Yeah, it's
you
pending right now.
yes.
Yeah, it's zoned very low residential with large lots. There was 3 lots owned under common ownership, and that landowner did pass away, and it probably is in the estate. But previously, I think that they tried to see the number of septic systems you could get in, that the soil was not very suitable for septic. I think that the most lots they could get on there was 9 or 10 or something like that.
So I do remember, I think it was on the planning commission, we've seen other plans where they had a lot more lots on there, so I guess some ways count your blessings, it's not as intensive,
I agree.
right? Okay.
I thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Just 2 things real quick. First of all, Sunny, we've had $100,000 given to the fire company so far. The initial $50,000 startup was in April. We got another $50,000 in August, and now the $30,000.
I knew it was a good number, but I wasn't keeping count, but thank you for that information, I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. And
Okay.
also, Brian, I just want to say with you and your team, that was an awesome job with Trunk or Treat. The line was huge, but it kept moving. So awesome job. And In the Woods was pretty cool. And thank you for not having anything jump out and scare us. Appreciate that.
Tigers and dinosaurs from nature.
Anyone else? Mike?
So I just wanted to say kudos to the township for the no tax increase. You guys are doing a great job. Really proud of living in Upper Macungie Township, and thanks again. On the VSAP plan, I see that the township engineers got a 5-year plan that you're looking to do and starting to roll some of that out. Being part of the Simone Collins Parks and Rec and Open Space Planning Committee, have an interest in that particular area and wanting to see that move ahead, whatever we can be doing. I haven't looked at the budget yet for this year, but hopefully we've got some funds budgeted for some of that particular 5-year plan as we go forward. Hoping to see that. So I don't know, is that 5-year plan available for comment or review or?
No, right now, it's just in the draft.
Okay.
Just we're looking at some of the recommendations in the study.
Yeah.
Seeing what we can afford to do more than anything.
And some of it we're doing in the form of, we're not giving as many waivers for sidewalk installation on a lot of new development. That's all part of the VSAP, is making sure that
Right.
if anything, it's a deferral so that we can call it so we can get the sidewalks built. We did that, I know, with the hotel that's on Blue Barn and Tillman. They wanted a waiver. We ended up calling the deferral and putting the sidewalk in, something in. That's all part of the VSAP plan. I know it's getting really.
Yeah, no, and I mean, Brian, Mike, I know where you're going with it. You're looking for something a little bit more forward-looking, beyond where we
Exactly,
are.
the 5-year plan is perfect. You know, when we did the open space, there was a lot of interest for passive recreation, okay? And this is trails and, you know, biking, passive being maybe biking between community and through the parks and, you know, something through the township, something that we should probably be looking to improve on.
I agree with you. So, I mean, it's something that we can kind of put forward. I know I've had that similar request in the past, and I think I passed along some other funding opportunities that might require resolution, but that might help us with some grant money to acquire.
Yeah, we have
So
a
it's all
list of
good
grants
stuff.
we have.
Yeah.
Everything will apply.
So to address your question, you know, maybe that's something we can look at, is to try to put together a plan and prioritize what it is that we would like to acquire.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get some update on it and, you know, a presentation or anything that you could provide would be really beneficial, so.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, obviously, a lot of our volunteers put a lot of time and energy into giving us feedback, so I understand your request to get some feedback. Sure.
Okay, Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thanks a lot.
Anyone else? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn, is there a second?
I'll make the second
Motion
motion.
made and seconded, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 8:05 in the evening on November 6th. Thank you, everybody.
I,
No.